There we go. Hi everybody, Jennifer McCreath here. Sunday, June 5th, 2022. Oh my goodness. I haven't put a general update out there for a while, so that's what we're going to do today. We'll talk a little bit about the sports, a little bit about my life, and I've kind of caught myself filming a few videos that I just felt weren't good enough to post. I think I may have mentioned that in one of my recent posts, and it's definitely been a long couple of years, and particularly the past 12 months have been very turbulent for me, and starting to realize that getting old is not all it's cracked up to be, but attitude is everything. I think instead of saying I'm too old to do this, or I'm too old to do that, or this is never going to happen for me, again, glass half full, half empty. Switch that around. What can I still do? What have I done that I never would have imagined? When you look at it that way, things don't seem so bad. It's tough growing up, especially when you're labeled a child prodigy who's going to go on to great things. I started making all these goals. Well, I guess other people made them for me, and I've always had a very high expectation of myself, and maybe things haven't always worked out, but you know, the effort's always been there. Then you throw something at me like, oh, you're trans, but nobody's going to tell you this. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. And when you do, you're still going to be living in a time where, one, they're just not educated. They don't know what this stuff is, and even worse, two, they've been misled to believe that being trans is bad and wrong and a mental illness and all these sort of things we grew up learning. It's interesting to sit back and reflect now on the 2 weeks, the French Open. And I guess particularly this year for me, it's the 30th anniversary of 1992. The year that I personally took my tennis up to a higher level. I've been playing tennis since I was probably 10 or 11 years old, but it wasn't until I turned 18 that I really started loving the game and started playing a lot of it. Back then, if you were taking up tennis at 18, you were already considered too old to make a career out of it. And that's kind of where I was. It's like, there's no way I'm ever going to turn pro because I'm too old. If you don't pick up a racket when you're 3 years old and play every day for 9 hours, you're not going to make it. Now I think things have changed. We're seeing people pick up the racket and start playing tennis in their teens. They're developing, they're evolving, they're going to college. They're coming out of college at the age of, like, say 22, 23, 24, jumping on the pro tour and doing just fine. So I guess it just goes to show you things change and opportunities change. But yeah, growing up as a teen, not knowing I was trans, it affected me without really understanding what was going on. But anything that did not deal with sex, gender, or relationships, shall we say, I was fine. I could go out there and play sports. One thing that's never changed about me is my interest in sports and athletics. I took my tennis more seriously than any of my peers did. And at the same time, I can't tell you how many people I taught how to play tennis back then, and turned some of them into pretty good players. I don't think any of them actually ever beat me. But yeah, there was a couple other players in the neighborhood or at the high school that got the better of me a few times, and we had some great rivalries. And it's amazing. Every time I turn on the TV and watch tennis, I'm transformed back to 1992. We're going to have to take that. So I'll be right back.